My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat his children.
How much you can take, they keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hi and welcome to Beyond the Ropes. This is Michael here. Today I'm joined by David, by Sean, Dwight's still definitely AWOL. We've got a special guest in the studio, Wycombe Wanderers midfielder, Marcus Bean.
Guys, how you doing, guys?
Good to see you.
Good.
So boys,
we need like one of them applause things, don't we?
Oh,
That's what we should
Dave says it every week. He's like, "Where's the iPad?" And we just haven't got the sounds to put in. I found all the software. I've got it already. But
I reckon you could. There was a bit of silence after you said it. I reckon you can put some applause in there.
Some
some obviously cut this bit out.
Yeah. So I suppose there's only one place to start. There was boxing on Friday. I had a lovely ticket from the Hayemaker team, so we went down to the O2 for the Joyce Lewison card. Now, you guys tell me how it looked on TV first, because obviously I was there, so I got my kind of perspective of it. I'm interested. We haven't spoken about it at all. How it came across on TV. Obviously, I've read a lot on Twitter about how people felt it came across. So, I mean, what were your thoughts? Free to air boxing. What were your thoughts?
Mate, I thought it was decent. I like the actual setup because I like the everything in the background, showing everybody. It felt a little bit UFC style, but I don't know if that was like a Venom, Michael Page sort of like thing vibe. But yeah, I liked it. Little short ring walks. Didn't really need everybody's music for 10 seconds before they got in the ring. But yeah, I'm pretty sure from the TV angle it's probably not far from what you were getting. All the guys that were sitting up on the, I don't know what you call it, where the bar area is, looking down.
Yeah, so I mean, the venue is not a great venue for boxing.
No.
So like we were in the media seats, but you were lower than the ring, so you couldn't really get great shots. In fact, what I was saying is that the people that were in the balcony, like the cheap seats at the top, they were looking over the ring, but they were really close to it, so they had the best seats in the house. And I mean, I've watched a little bit back on TV and I saw some stuff where people have been tweeting and on Facebook and whatnot, and it did look very bare in there. But one thing you need to know about the Indigo O2 is that the bar is at the back of the same room, and you can see the ring exactly the same as you could as if you were in your seat. So when they said it was a sellout, I don't necessarily say it wasn't a sellout or that it was, but there was a lot of people just standing completely at the bar all night, still watching the fight. Still had a great seat because it's a very small venue. It's very small. The one thing I did notice that there's the seats where like all the boxing media and like family and friends, but they were quite bare until the Joyce fight. So I just think everyone was just drinking, to be honest with you. But it was nice that there was no trouble, no fights this week.
It's unusual.
Always a bonus now at the boxing. But anyway, sorry, I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there.
No, I agree. It looked from the TV points, it did look a little scarce, but yeah, if that's what it was, because you don't get to see that obviously on the TV. So
yeah, they concentrate, and it was really strange, obviously, because it's on a stage. So there's the fans only on one side of the ring, and then you've got the commentators on one side. You had about 30 or 40 people maybe on the stage. I imagine that was the boxers' immediate family or their coaching teams and whatnot. But yeah, it was a very strange setup. I personally wouldn't like to see it there again, but I think they probably will go with that. It was very similar to when we went to the Eubanks fight and we went to
Olympia,
and in that kind of setup, that wasn't it wasn't like the full room, was it? It was only like 2 stands.
Yeah.
So they could make more use of it. But I mean, overall, I was really impressed with the card itself. I felt it was probably better than a lot of cards that we see, and judging by this weekend, probably people pay for.
Who else was on it? Obviously, the ones that they televised, because the only ones they show that I can remember was the Page, the Joyce, the Hutchinson.
They showed it was only 3 fights, wasn't it? Because I think it was a 2-hour broadcast.
Eddie Venom was on there, wasn't he?
Who?
Eddie Venom.
Eddie Venom was on the card. There's a guy from Rice as well. I think his name was Lee Robinson.
Okay.
But I hadn't heard of him before. But they were all Goodwin fighters. Obviously, Hayemaker's got quite a small stable at the minute. There's only maybe like 4 or 5 fighters in there. And it's no disrespect to the guys on it. The undercard was pretty poor. Like these guys were fighting journeymen, but and not even journeymen you'd ever heard of before. I was talking to this guy, these guys on a Craig from Fight Talk, and he was like, I've never. He goes to a lot of boxing. I've never seen any of these guys. Never heard any of their names. Where have they come from? And like I said, there was maybe 5 or 6 fights on the undercard before it got to the televised event. I think there was only 1 stoppage. It was really, really quite poor. And you don't want to see someone bowling up and just knocking people over. But in fairness, if I'm watching that early in the night, I want some excitement.
Yeah.
And they were quite dull fights. I said probably the best thing for me about the undercard is it was in Indigo 02, and their sound system's amazing. So all these Eastern European boys were coming out to like these hip hop tunes, and I was like, shit, it's ASAP Rocky up in here. I was loving it, trying to keep it down. But no, the undercard itself, it wasn't great, and it's quite fortunate that it wasn't on TV, because I think that would have really turned people off a lot. But I do want to watch the card on TV and see how it came across.
What was the atmosphere like? Obviously, because you've probably only got sound coming from one direction from the fans. What was that like?
There wasn't a lot of crowd noise, to be honest with you. I don't know again how that sounded on TV, but it was fairly subdued in there. And again, it was kind of like a small hall atmosphere in where you get people have sold tickets themselves. So when it's their fight, everybody's singing, shouting their name. Their fight's done, and then they kind of just fade into the background again. So you never get everybody all going at one time. Except for when Willy Hutchinson was on, that was crazy. Like he had the biggest support I've seen on the show.
They didn't even sit down, did they? They all just rushed down to the stage.
It looked like quite annoying, to be fair. I was sitting there, I was trying to take some pictures. I was like, excuse, oh fuck this, forget it. I just watch it, and I ended up watching it on the screen. There was 2 screens either side of the stage.
The graphic things looked quite good, didn't they? It looked like they've invested some money into the production of it. It did look quite good.
Like I said, the show overall, I was impressed with, and I think for a debut show, it's not to be sniffed at. I mean, not many people will come out and book out I don't know what the capacity is, a 2,000-3,000 seaters sort of venue for a debut show for 3 debutants as well.
Yeah. No, I thought it was wicked, and to be honest, two knockout. Well, 2 proper knockouts and a TKO. That's not bad. You got like your entertainment that you were asking for. So.
And I sent you boys on our WhatsApp. I had David Hay, Chris Eubank Jr. I was just sitting there just like, this is like the perfect show right now. This is brilliant.
Just watching them get interviewed.
Just watching them talk.
Just is someone fighting? Don't worry about it. I'm not too fussed.
I don't know if you could hear it, but it got a bit awkward when they were talking about Page, because they're saying he's like heavyweight, but he's going to come down to super middle.
Yeah.
And literally, Hay looked at Eubank, and Eubank went, "Better stay at light heavy."
Let's be honest, right? I mean, we all watch a Page fight. Page, he looked good.
He's got power, and his movement is great. Will he be able to do that against anyone half decent?
I would say probably not,
because he just get a flat jab straight in the face. As soon as he's doing this, he ain't quick enough to. No,
you can do that.
Power's there. Yeah. And that was considering he's got like the O'Hara Davis. Like comes from back here to punch you there. It's quick, and that was bang on the button. So
he's a great knockout.
Yeah.
But he's not going to get that opportunity against any top 10 fighters.
No. But he'll be entertainment.
Yeah.
He will be entertainment, and it's for me. It's that pet hate. I hope it's nice guy entertainment. Like he just gets in there, takes a piss. Not takes a piss, but showmanship. Great, not the attitude and like the niggly shit.
He seems like a happy guy. Like when you hear him interviewed, though, he doesn't do the trash talk. I don't think. To be honest, in his other MMA fights, he doesn't have to because he's that good. Hopefully, he brings that to boxing where he can literally just be entertaining and doesn't build up like a fan base through.
You don't want to have that Floyd Mayweather sort of fan base where you just kind of
because I don't think his career is going to
lose a little bit. You're like, I kind of hope.
Yeah, I don't want to have that like O'Hara Davis thing where I think you're all right, but I can't stand watching you on TV. Like you annoy me, So
I think a lot of people already feel like that about him, and they're seeing what you read on social media. A lot of people weren't liking it.
No.
Yeah.
I saw quite a lot of dislike for him, but again, I think it's purely because he's an MMA fighter.
I mean, I think it's like a mutually beneficial thing, you know, like where he comes in and he probably just fills a place on Hayes' sort of like team for the time being, builds his own profile, but I can't really see him ever fighting anyone good. I think by the time Hayes got a big enough stable, Page's profile would be big enough for him to go back to MMA and
join the UFC.
Well, he said obviously he's going to continue to fight in both sports at the same time, and I think his next fight will probably be a Bellator one.
Yeah.
Because I don't imagine the Dave shows will be close together. What was it? Was it five deals, five fight nights over?
Yeah.
Was it like a year or 2 years?
I think it might be 2 years.
So they're going to be spread out over a few months, and at the moment there's only 3 or 4 fighters in the stable anyway, and they're all going to be built around Page, Joyce, and Hutchinson.
And 3 other names, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, the headline fight, which wasn't the last fight as well.
Strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I found that quite odd, but it must be to do with the TV deals. Obviously, people like Dave know how it works, when people tune in the most and all that sort of stuff. So the headline fight. Let's start with Joe Joyce. Marcus? What did you think of him? Is he as good as we're being told? Is he going to challenge anybody?
For me, no. I didn't really see enough there to get me off my seat excited. For me, it definitely looked like he lacked power. Those punches didn't look spiteful to me. I know he'd done a lot of damage, but yeah, I think he'll struggle against any of the top heavyweights.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they look like thudding shots, but like you say, like you see Chris Eubank Jr. hit someone, you know there's spite, you know the head snaps, everything. Yeah. He's 6'8", 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's huge. Either way, built out of marble. The geezer looks the business. When you're jabbing someone and you're catching him flush, there wasn't enough for me to think that's hurting him. That's doing damage there. It was more the continuous like hitting that wore him down. But
when we saying that about Eubank, I'd say 3-4 fights ago.
Yeah, but Eubank 3-4 fights ago was 24, 23, where they're still trying to find your man strength.
Yeah, your man power.
Joe Joyce is 32, 33. He's at that stage where you're strongest. And he's
17 stone as well.
You should be able to.
When you jab, you should. Yeah, you hate to bring comparisons already, but you know someone's hurt when Joshua jabs them, even through their gloves. Their whole head goes. So yeah, he felt a bit robotic. Like watching him, it was more, and that left arm. It was like I was hitting on the head and his arm was coming out. It's like push footballers, you bang kick. I don't know. It just felt awkward watching him.
In his defence, it was his first fight, wasn't it?
True.
And it was against a decent opposition for a first fight in a 10 round.
I'll give him
That's the only thing you can give him.
Only because it was his first pro. But he's 32 and he's had God knows how many.
He's travelled the world.
It's true.
You know that to still look robotic, considering you've had I don't know however many amateur fights. I don't know. I think he's still got that sort of amateur side still in him, where it's not as free flowing and it's more scoring jabs, scoring shots, scoring. Whereas it's not combinations to open up the defence. So yeah, for me, I weren't too impressed.
And look at the state of Ian Lewison at the end of it, though.
But that was a thumb in the eye, man.
It
was a thumb.
To be honest, as soon as he done it, he went.
Yeah.
You could see, and that looked bad the next day. It's just boom.
I'll tell you one thing. I did notice about Joyce. It almost seemed to be like he had that kind of sparring mentality. There was times when I could literally see him, just like going through the motions of what he's going to do. He's like kind of push his hand out halfway. Like, I'm going to throw a right, left uppercut. But he wasn't obviously throwing the punches. He just literally just like dummying them to himself, and then he'd do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a really strange sort of. It's a method, and I just think like Mark said, it's his first fight, so I'm not going to judge you heavily. But you put him. I'm trying to think of someone in and around his sort of level now. So, for example, Daniel Dubois, who's only 4 or 5 fights in. And he's already head and shoulders above him. Yeah. In fairness, he hasn't fought anyone of Lewison's ability.
I think we might never see Joe Joyce visibly improve, though, because he's got to go at such a rate in his career. If they're already talking about British title in his next fight, you'd think that on paper that's got to be a step up. It probably won't be. Who's it? Sam Sexton, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily that's a step up.
Well, that's the thing, though.
But if it is a step up, Joe Joyce, he might be better, but the opposition's better, so he might look the same.
Yeah.
So it's like he's hopefully he improves, but I just don't think it won't be visible to see. He might put in a better performance, but the level of opposition will be higher as well. So he might never dominate someone or be spectacular against someone because he's got to go. He's got to
step
he
up
might only
his
have
levels instead of get thrown them.
If he loses his next fight, that might be it. If he
and it literally could be it.
Probably will be. Yeah.
So it's a very difficult situation of how they matchmake him.
I think that British title is if they can get that, I think he can win that. That's winnable against Sam Sexton.
I think so. I mean, Sam Sexton's decent. He's been around the block, to be fair. I mean, he was fighting, what were we talking about, 8-9 years ago, David Price, Tyson Fury, when those guys were up and coming. And he's still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's just a stranger, like the British domestic scene for heavyweights, it just never seems to have changed.
It's always, you get the one or two that peak.
Oh, I mean in terms of the actual fighters.
Oh, the names.
We're still talking about people like Rogan, Sexton. Yeah. I'm expecting Danny Williams to rock up and, do you know what? I
one shoulder in.
I can do this. I weigh 24 stone now, but Ian weighed 19.1.
Is Sprott still knocking about? He actually is.
I think he is still knocking around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And like Sean likes to say, Audley Harrison.
He's always available.
He's due a comeback at some point. He's due a comeback.
Left hand.
So, I mean, Lewison, where does... Like, we like Ian Lewison, he's always been good to us at the show, very interactive with us, but where does he go now?
We said it, didn't we? We said whoever loses this fight is going to look back and think that was really bad matchmaking, because if it was the other way around, you'd be saying, what was Joe Joyce doing in his debut?
Yeah. It is. Like before Dillian White, no one knew Lewison.
No.
Which is very true.
Let's be honest.
It's very true, but again,
and he was the Asian champion at the time.
WBO Asian Pacific champion.
I don't know how you even get onto that sort of. Yeah. I'm gonna fight for this title.
You should know that because we did an interview with him, and he told us.
Yeah, he did an interview with you.
Which is on our YouTube. See what I have to do with us? These guys here, they don't even watch our own stuff. Alright, anyway.
Don't dig me out.
Right, so he won that because he was boxing and someone phoned him and just said, I've just figured out that you've got some heritage. from here. You could be eligible to fight for this. Do you want to come to China and fight for it? He's like, yep.
He's got Chinese heritage, yeah? Wow.
He just went to China and fought for that. And he's the WBO Asian Pacific champion.
Okay.
So I mean, it's quite it's
like
a big
the
region.
It's
massive
the same
region.
as WBO European, isn't it? It's like they're.
So I mean, it's a decent level title.
Fair enough.
And listen, when it's on the wall, it still looks good.
It's a belt, yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. It says it has that WBU.
Oh,
well, they're even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fair play to
put it on Lee and Warren.
I don't know where he goes though, and I was disappointed with the shape he came in with.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, 19 stone. For arguably the biggest fight of your career,
best camp he's ever had,
the longest camp, as he told us, it's. You don't want to be rude, but it's poor showing.
Yeah,
the fans voiced their complaints to that. They were upset.
We like him, but it's hard to know where he goes next if that's
what was going on with his shorts.
Right, so
that's the
question.
I couldn't believe how many times I was like, I'm not watching his crack anymore. This is stupid.
And again, so there's Sean probably there's a girl called Susie Wong who does all of the shorts for all of the boxers.
Yeah,
she does all of their equipment. Well, I say all of them. Like she obviously charges
all the big names,
all the big guys.
Stuff.
Okay.
And she made those shorts. And during the fight, I was just scrolling through Twitter as we were tweeting sort of our stuff, and she found the order that he'd placed for those shorts, and she's like, she was like, Ian, you should have just come and got some new ones. 2012, he got them.
Did he?
So he's had those shorts for 5 years.
He's lost weight since 2012. Is that what you said?
I think.
Do you know what I think it was? On the guard. So they must have been massive.
You know when you've got like some old Nike tracksuit bottoms and like the elastic goes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They don't stay up anymore, so you're just kind of holding them up. There was one point they actually taped him.
I've never seen that tape in shorts.
That's just unprofessional, man. To another level.
I know it's hard to disagree. Like I said, I think there was certain things in that where people were saying it's quite an unprofessional show to come in to the ring at that weight, in that condition, in equipment in that condition, on the back of his best ever camp.
Yeah.
Are you buying that though? Do you really think he done 2 months, considering the position he was in?
I don't think so now. I think probably there was a 2-month camp, but I think it probably wasn't as hard as it should have been.
Yeah.
And I said it's so strange because I went out to the gym when Don Charles was there. And they did a bit of training and whatnot, and I spoke to the guys about it. And even up until a couple of days before, they were still training really hard. So they obviously knew there was still a lot of work to do, even with a week to go. Like I spoke to Willy Hutchinson the week before, and he was like, "Yeah, last day of sparring's tomorrow, and then that's it, I'm done." And that was like 10 days before. And then I saw Ian maybe 4, 5, 6 days before, and he was like, "Yeah, I've still got 3 more days of sparring."
What do you reckon that is then?
I just think they probably looked at him and were like, he's got a lot to lose. He's got a lot of weight to get off. He's got a lot more sharpness to pick up, and they can't afford to let him wind down for a week.
No, I mean, what do you think got it to that point where he was still in that shape?
I don't know. And the only thing I can think of is that Don Charles is a very busy guy. I think Chisora had a fight, I think probably the week before. I think it was, or 2 weeks before. And he obviously spends a lot of time with his other fighters as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of the questions that we ask these guys: do you ever feel that it's difficult to get the time that you need with your trainers? I mean, I'd imagine for yourself, Max, it would be like if your coach came in and he just took one of you aside for a week and he was like, "Right, this is I'm with you this week." Everyone else is just like, "Oh, all right, what do I do?" There's only so many things you can do together in the boxing gym, like you do your fitness work and whatnot. But then when you're doing your one-on-ones for the fight, if your coach has got a fighter who's fighting a week before you, he's gonna have to spend a lot of time with that guy. So I don't know. I can only speculate because I didn't get to speak to Don Charles and they weren't doing any interviews afterwards. So it's, I personally, I just think it's a poor camp. The wrong stuff's gone into it. I think they probably thought they were going to beat him as well. I think they probably underestimated how, I wouldn't even say how good he is, but maybe how good Ian is. You know, not trying to be a patronising person here. They overestimated how good he is himself.
Maybe.
And just thought, yeah, well, he's not. And do you know what it is? People always they think, you know, like, you're ring smarts. He knows too much. He's got all the old tricks and stuff. But it just didn't come together.
Didn't get near him to do
anything. It just didn't come together, did it?
Even when he was getting hurt, first thing you'd think of is just grab. He didn't even bother. Just moved away. So yeah, I just think if they had a game plan, it went wrong. He was out of shape. Underestimating Joyce. There's too many things that happened in that thing for me to think he's going to get it right next time. He's going to take a good paycheck from Dillian Whyte, good paycheck from this one, and I don't think we're going to see him fight any. I can't even see him fighting like a Dave Allen or English level Sexton. Well, if he's still about after Joyce gets to him, but
yeah, I think this drops him back to like small hall show kind of level now, doesn't it? Because it's going to be very difficult. Like TV deals are not going to come up very much anymore. Because
if the only reason he got this fight was because of the performance he put in for Dillian Whyte against Dillian Whyte.
Okay, so who did a better job on him then?
I would say probably Joyce, based on the fact that it was his first fight. Dillian Whyte is a veteran now. Let's be honest, he's had 20 odd fights. Even up to that point, he was still, I think he was about 20 and 1 or whatever. Plus his kickboxing career as well. He's an established fighter. And I'm not saying Joe Joyce isn't, because obviously he's had a whole career himself. But Dillian Whyte's been a professional fighter for a long time, and it took him the same amount of time. And
to be honest,
and he only had a 2-week camp. But I mean, let's be honest, that probably didn't make too much of a difference based on the shape.
In the Dillian Whyte fight, he gassed out. It wasn't because Dillian Whyte was battering him. It was an okay fight. It was actually, he was probably the second biggest test Dillian Whyte had. Up until that time. This fight, it was like a totally different fighter. That's the only thing I'd say that people will argue against for Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce, that Ian Lewison didn't turn up to fight Joyce. and that's why he's made him look so much better.
So I suppose we have to say then that in terms of David Hayes matchmaking, spot on.
Yeah, it was an educated gamble that paid off.
Yeah,
Paid off.
Spot on.
Yeah, definitely. Great matchmaking.
It puts him right in the mix now.
No, it does. Yeah.
And if he can get that British title, then he's right there.
Mm-hmm. It'll be literally, you know how they wanted to do Anthony Yard, where he was saying, right, I want this many fights at this level, then as soon as I'm ready, and I know when I'm ready, British level, European level, silver, whatever I don't know what the next step is, and then world. That's what they wanted to do with Yard. He's had to have a few fights just because people, for me, are avoiding him. But Joyce, on the other hand, is probably going to get to European level quite quickly, and then it'll be a case of how good he looks. Will people actually take a gamble on him as a fight him, or we all know his rankings will probably be second in all of the top 5 by next month. But yeah,
so I had a look this week, and we love the box rec rankings.
Score.
Oh my god, Joe Joyce is in the top 10 British heavyweights already.
Yeah, brilliant.
On one fight.
Incredible.
Because of their point scoring system, however it works.
Is it punches landed or something?
Oh, it's mental.
No, but I mean, do you think it's wrong?
No, he probably is.
He probably is, yeah.
But I mean, if I'm a British heavyweight and I've had 30 fights, and he's had one, I'm like, what have I got to do here?
Yeah. So was he number 10?
Yeah, he was number 10.
So who's... I couldn't even tell you 9.
No, I couldn't tell you 9.
So that's probably why.
There's only 10. It was Joshua at the top, just all you need to know.
Yeah.
You probably could name them.
But you can't count Skelton and Price, is he? I bet he's...
No, he wasn't.
He must be fuming.
Wow.
He was supposed to have a comeback in the last couple of weeks, but he got ill, didn't he?
I didn't know he got ill, but...
Wow.
Alright, so...
Price ain't even in the top 10.
No, come on. He's not now.
You can't tell me the other 10. Price was one of the names.
I want to go and look for it now, but it's too much dead air.
Yeah.
It'll take too long to do.
Yeah.
Alright, so there was boxing on Saturday. I had said to you already, I was honest. I've had too much boxing going on in the last couple of weeks, and I couldn't swing another night with the missus. Been out 2 weeks on the trot watching the boxing. I was like, next Saturday, I'm just going to watch this as well. There's 2 cards, I'm going to watch 2 channels.
What did you do instead then?
I think I caught up on the programmes that I've been avoiding for throughout the week. Like we watched some dramas on ITV and stuff like that. A couple of things like that. Watch the radio show box or something. Yeah.
Downton Abbey.
No. I couldn't do that. I just couldn't do it. But I mean, I hear good things. It was the BT card was probably the better one for me with the Tyrone Nurse fight.
Yeah.
Ryan Burnett unified his world titles.
Good.
But I think we all expected that, didn't we?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It was a good test though.
Yeah, that guy was tough.
Yeah, the geezer come to fight.
Yeah.
It was one of those ones where I think they said like they had to fight his fight because he was never gonna. He was never gonna come and let Ryan Burnett do what he does. So they had to go and do what he would normally do. And fair play to him, he come out looking like he'd been in a fight, and yeah, it was a good night's entertainment.
I think it's really good, the relationship he's got with Adam Booth. I mean, did you see any of the sort of in between rounds? You hear Adam Booth saying, "Do this, do that," and if Sakhanov does this, then do this instead. Yeah, and it's like really clear, good advice. And like sometimes you don't. Obviously, Joe Gallagher does the opposite. It's kind
let him punch you in the face. Let him punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Let him punch you in the face.
Get to the 6th round.
Is he tired?
To work.
No, not yet. Let him punch you in the face. He's tired. Yeah, go for it.
Them two are like father and son, aren't they? Adam Booth loves him.
Yeah,
and I think there's really good.
There's a reason Adam Booth is one of the best in the business.
Yeah, he's good, very good.
You've only got to look at the results.
There's no words that everything he says is like to the point. And
very
it's like
clear and concise, isn't it?
Yeah, stuff that
he doesn't just say to say.
Yeah.
Just clear instructions. This is what you do.
Yeah.
And we said it before. Like, I'd say he's probably my favourite coach. And you only got to look at George Groves in the first Froch fight, and he wasn't even with him then. They'd obviously had a parting of ways about 2 weeks before, but he was still essentially a Booth fighter. And he was just everything was perfect. He was so sharp. He was quick. And then you saw the second fight when he was with Paddy Fitzpatrick, and it was just like chalk and cheese. It was 2 different fighters. It's just And then even after that, when he moves on again, I like him with Shane, but I just don't think we'll ever see him back to his absolute best.
Well, yeah.
As he was in that first Frotch fight, he was just almost punch perfect until Howard Foster got it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I agree.
And I really like Booth's stable. We said it before. He's got a very, very strong stable.
More I see of that Kelly fella, Josh Kelly. More I like him, and I don't like hands down boxers, but he's so smooth in the way he moves out the way. And I know he's not doing it against the top or even mediocre sort of fighters, but you already know. He knows as soon as the guy moves, he's already out of the way. Like,
yeah, he's a very efficient fighter.
Yeah,
now for Booth to say that he that's a tough division, and he's saying he's going to be a world champion at welterweight. So, and Booth's not the sort of guy who's just going to say
talk shit,
yeah,
doesn't he?
No. Yeah, you're right. I think I can see him.
He wants to fight Theophane next, but Theophane's been at 140.
Does he drop down?
I think he's always been 140.
He was 140 when he fought Broner, wasn't he?
Yeah. And Josh Kelly's welterweight, and I think he's fought above welterweight as well. That'd be a good name for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tough fight.
One of
so when you're at that level, I think you can bounce around the weights all you want. Like we saw the Dave card, Page and Hutchinson both fought at light heavy, and they're both going to be super middles when they have meaningful fights. I think it's just they don't want to stress too much about getting you down to weight and stuff like that. It's just this is what it is, and this is where you just fight. There's no stress on anyone there to get to where they need to be physically.
Yeah, and he's only young as well. You don't want to be stressing his body too early.
Yeah,
as well. Especially if he has a good career. Like we're talking about 10, 12 years. You don't want to be doing that for 10, 12 years, do you? Unless you're reading because the only thing I will say about Dave's thing was their graphics. Their graphics were classic. It was a lightweight fight. I was like looking at the thing and what? Nah, he's 19. Then they introduced him as 18. I was like, what's going on here? It's just so confusing. Then I was like, I'm pretty sure he's a light heavyweight. I had to go onto YouTube and check one of your interviews.
Yeah. Also, you do know we've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Do you want to plug it? No, because I don't.
Beyond the Ropes on YouTube.
There we go. Yeah, that was the only thing I like. It made me laugh, but it also confused me. I was like, anyone watching this who doesn't know, seems like he's 18, he's 19, he looks massive for a featherweight. Lightweight. I'm like, no, light heavy. But yeah, if he's, do you reckon they'll go to that super middle?
That's where he'll fight, guaranteed.
Yeah? So him and Page.
He has said that, and Page said it from the very beginning that they're the people he wants to fight, and the stories that we've heard about him really like giving people problems. In fact, we can say it because we're not actually with them at the minute. So apparently he made James DeGale like storm out of sparring. Really? As in they brought him in and did a couple of rounds, and DeGale seems like the temperamental type anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, especially if he's not getting everything right. Not his way, but you know, you can see in a sparring if he's doing all this commitment and then he's all of a sudden
and then rocking you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, sparring's different. Like we've heard it before. I mean, DeGale might be in there and being told by his coach, "I want you to work on this. Just do this. Do this all the time." But then he keeps getting tagged. I can imagine that being very frustrating.
It's got to be the same with football, though, right? Some people must be amazing in training. And
exactly. I was just thinking then back to like football, where manager will set you up and you're the defending team and you're playing by his tactics that he wants you to play on a Saturday. Obviously the attacking team know exactly what you're going to do. It's a bit like sparring, do you know what I mean? And they look amazing on the training field because they know your weakness and strength, and they've been told a certain way to play. So yeah, it's pretty similar. Sparring for me doesn't mean much.
No.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what all boxers say. Sparring doesn't mean anything. Sparring's nothing. You knock someone out in sparring. That's nothing. It's literally how you perform once a little gloves are on and the helmet's off or the hat's off. The hat.
The boxing hat.
Yeah. People naturally take their foot off the pedal as well. Don't they? You know, you are only training. You know what I mean? So
true.
And it might be to throw one punch in a round. Do you know what I mean? And if you're doing everything just for one punch, so you're going to take shots because you're not defending yourself as you would be normally.
But so I've heard that story from when we go to the presses from a few different people that Page has a lot of super mids in, and he goes out and he trains with them. and he gets the boxes in as well because it helps improve him his like striking in MMA. But he's supposed to be very, very good. But again, I think when he gets into the big stage, I think it will be a very, very different.
Yeah, because they touched on it with Eubank.
I just think that's living in dream world. If you think that them two are going to end up in a ring together, Eubank's he's on a massive his trajectory
sparred.
now. I have no doubt they sparred.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of actual fights, Eubank's on a very set trajectory now. And this is not me and my fanboy mode here. His next fights are going to be big fights now.
Yeah.
I'll be very shocked if we get the situation we had a year or two ago where it's like he's going to drop back down to fighting as David loves, fighting at British level or European level or anything like that. I think he's way past that now.
Yeah.
The IBO belt, for all of the stick it's been given, has given him a massive platform.
Open doors, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's not really about the super middles. Is about the Muhammad Ali Trophy now, isn't it? I mean, whoever wins that is
the best.
Yeah.
And De Gale must be fuming about that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I suppose that works for him is if he can hold on to that belt, which he should do, is that as soon as that's finished, there's a natural unification fight set, and there's going to be a lot of money involved.
Big money, mate.
Especially if it's an all UK.
Which,
It
let's
will
be
be,
honest,
won't it?
you would assume you've got
Should be.
Callum, you've got
Groves and
Eubank.
I don't think Callum Smith De Gale is one that.
It's not
I
like
think
the
because of
world.
inactivity. If Callum Smith had gone on his, let's say, hiatus for the last year where he hasn't done much, if he hadn't and he was still on that like Rocky fielding, then
He would
moved
have
on to
fought
the
De
next.
Gale already if he wanted.
Yeah, I think he would have. I think he could have possibly been a world champion by
But
now.
I think De Gale, because
But
De Gale
he
was
hasn't.
going to eventually fight the winner, you'd imagine he's got history with Groves. And him and Eubank, the build-up's going to be good. Him and
They
Callum Smith
already
just
don't
went-
get on. I remember seeing interviews with them two when they were both with Hennessy, and there'd be bits backstage, and Eubank would be like, "Yeah, I want to fight him now," and he was only like a 5-6 fight novice at that point. And he's like, "Mick, sort us out, get us in the ring." And he's like, you see Hennessy's face like, "No, this is my two top guys." Don't say this on Coogan, get rid of this. Don't let anyone hear this.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to think about this fight yet.
I'll buy the tape.
So who wins the Super Series then? In your
So I've
There's only one person for him.
I've said Eubank from the outset.
I'm going to go with you on that.
I'll be honest, and I just think I don't want to be the guy that says about Groves, because I don't necessarily think that he doesn't have a tank anymore. I think he probably could do 12 rounds comfortably. I just think Eubank's going to outwork nearly everybody now. And maybe this is a fanboy sort of moment. I think Eubank's going to take a shot as well. I'm thinking back to that.
He's going to have to against Groves. I mean,
he's going to get hit.
He's going to get
Groves will land with it on it.
He is going to get hit. There's no two ways about it. He's going to get hit in that fight. But I think he can take a shot well.
I think he's just going to out pressure Groves on the night.
It's just I
gonna
just
be
see him
relentless.
outworking nearly everybody now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think the last fight, Groves' last fight. So who was it again?
Cox.
I thought he kind of showed him the way a little bit. I thought he struggled at times. Groves,
I think
big time.
Spot on.
And I think if Eubank does the same thing that Cox done, it's big trouble for Groves.
And he'll be better.
He'll be better. It's stronger, better on the inside. It's trouble.
Yeah, because like you said, when Cox pressurised him and got up close and just know how Groves wants to he's almost got that Amir Khan thing where if he gets clocked, he just wants to swing back. And the little flurries, Chris Eubank will connect with
10.
5 out of 6. You know what I mean? Like he will connect with a hell of a lot more than Cox, who's flying past his head and everything. And Groves will just stand still and try and trade. And it's dangerous for both because Groves has got power, but like you say, I just think if he does that, he's more out of the two. He's more likely to get clocked, and because he's I'm not gonna say he's chinny, but he has had 2 big losses from KOs. So I think you're right in that. I think if he gets close to him and he works him, I think it will turn into that, and it's just who connects first, and that's it.
It's an interesting one because
Eubank,
like some of the guys that I was speaking to after the Groves fight kind of saw that the complete opposite way, and it was that Groves was not worried at all about what was going to come back and was quite happy to let him do whatever he wanted, which is again, like when I was in there, I was kind of getting sucked into the whole hype of it, and I was thinking, wow, Cox is looking pretty decent there. But to echo what you said, I just think if you get into that swinging match with Eubank, and not that Yildirim is a great boxer, I mean, we'll all be honest, before I'd never heard of him. I'd never heard of Yildirim before that. But he got into a toe for toe and got sparked out. And I think most people are gonna, if they end up in that situation with Chris Eubank Jr., are probably gonna go the same way.
The only thing is, Groves is a big super middleweight, isn't he?
He is big at the weight, and Eubank is bang on the limit.
He keeps saying that as well. He keeps making that point that he's naturally bigger. He's got the power to stop Eubank.
He has, and if you look at Eubank's last 2 fights, he's looked good against Abraham and Yildirim, but they're both fairly similar. They were coming to rest on his chest and try and hustle him, really.
Well, you're not looking.
Groves ain't gonna do
if
that.
you're fighting an old Abraham, you're not looking at him to knock you out, are you? His defences are so good that you just it's just a case of battering him and seeing if you can somehow get through it. We didn't know enough about Yildirim, but he come out and he looked quite similar, like coming forward, arms up, didn't really want to do much actual boxing. Groves is going to be a totally different thing. One thing disappointed me with the Cox fight, I didn't see his jab. You know, like
he was just coming out. He wanted to get it.
I think you're right, Mike. I think because Cox was a super welter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's come up a lot.
Yeah.
I just think he thought
I could take whatever you throw.
I've been in with you enough that I know you're not going to hurt me.
And that's
fair enough.
And because he could have boxed him and probably won in the 10th round or something.
I was quite surprised. Yeah,
Eubank knocked the guy out the week before.
He needed to make a statement, didn't he?
And
I said it at the time as well.
That's a good
the
point.
shot that he knocks him out with, that body shot, it was almost a piss take. Like,
mate,
no one throws an uppercut straight to your stomach.
Yeah,
straight down the middle. Boxers that top quality boxers don't do that.
I didn't even see it at first because it was quite hidden the way he done it.
I didn't see it.
And I was looking, I was like, shit, what's happening here?
I feel it was only hidden because of the camera, because it wasn't a discreet shot. It's like he came running out, it was like he's in a playground. He just went bang. Yeah, it just went down, holding his stomach. Like, yeah, I'm not getting up. Stop counting.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not getting up.
Yeah, it was.
He knew as soon as he hit him. He was like, no,
no,
it's not for me.
No. So,
all right. So, there's some other boxing this weekend.
Was there? Katie Taylor.
Yeah. But she might. Do you know what? There's still like 3 days. She might pull out. To be fair.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the.
How many have? What's the number at? Alan pulled out. Is he fighting someone?
Is Thomas pulled out now?
Yeah.
It's definitely he's off of it now.
Yeah. So it started off like shoulder injury. Then it was because his trainer's working with Sean Porter in America or something like that.
Right. So that's probably more realistic of a reason.
Is his trainer Kenny Porter? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes, it was because Sean Porter was at the Wembley show.
Sean Porter don't fight for a good couple of weeks, though.
Priorities. What we were just talking about when your coach has got people coming up.
It's a shame for Dave Allen. He looks in good shape as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, it must be quite soul destroying. He's put in a good bit of work.
Well, he actually come out and said, if I don't win, I'll lose.
No
shit. No shit. If I don't win, I'll quit.
I think I saw a similar quote. I think he said I'm finished, but he means it like.
So he's fighting
at A level.
Dorian Darch now, isn't he?
Yeah. So
who Joshua fought.
So that fight's right. So let's start with the top. So Joshua versus Pulev. Obviously Pulev pulled out, replaced by Takam.
That's
Chief support was Buglioni versus
Johnson.
Johnson pulled out and we were replaced by Craig Spider Richards.
That's great. I
kept saying that's Craig Richards.
Look very similar, by the way.
Yeah, that's Katie Taylor fight is on.
And
then you got
2 out of
Thomas
3.
pulled out of the Allen fight.
3 out of 4 pulled out.
And
people have still paid for this.
Yes.
These 4 fingers, but there's only one fight that's actually what you originally paid for.
Yeah.
It's disgusting, to be honest.
And yeah, I just think.
And I had this discussion today, but apparently on the tickets there is. Let's be honest, none of us read the back of our tickets, but there is a line that says, like contestants to subject to change or fighters subject to change.
Small print, isn't it?
So it covers them. It covers up.
The lines, ha 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 ha.
Yeah. But what a piss take. If you're a Pulev fan,
yes,
you spent £200 on a ticket. I want to go see Pulev. He's from my home country. I want to watch him fight Anthony Joshua. Pulls out. Take my money back. No, you bought an Anthony Joshua ticket. You haven't bought a Pulev ticket.
Yeah, my friend actually booked his tickets with a credit card, and he went back to the credit card company and said, "Listen, I've bought something and I'm getting what I want. You know what's actually stated on it." And the credit card company said they're going to refund him.
Oh,
so yeah, anyone on there, that might be a little angle. You can.
That is it. Yeah, every ticket from now on.
You've got to buy Matchroom
on
your
use your credit card. Matchroom tickets on your credit card only. Yeah.
That is it.
But it's a strange one because, like we said before, like Frank Warren gets absolutely hammered his shows if they get postponed or people pull out, he gets battered. Eddie Hearn just needs to, like, Sky just sweeps one under the carpet and just
they
everybody
care.
crack on. Don't worry.
They literally don't care. They've got your money. Who cares? You're going to see this guy.
They're just telling us now that Takam's better than Pulev.
Oh, mate.
And it's like, look, it's going to be a different fight. It might be more enjoyable to watch while it lasts, but he's not better than Pulev. Do you know what I mean?
So Marcus, please tell me, in your Twitter world this week, I mean, did you see Sky Sports did a poll?
Yes. Honestly, that
is Anthony Joshua
the greatest
British heavyweight of all time?
It came down quite quickly though, didn't it? I think they deleted it.
Within about 24 hours.
24 hours to delete it.
But when I checked it, it had been up for about 4 hours, and there was like it was 48 to 52 that he wasn't, but there was about 19,000 votes. So I was like, I don't know what to do with the world.
It's incredible.
They're the ones where you sit there, you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. There is this percentage of people, they live in that Matchroom world where I've seen Anthony Joshua fight 18 times now, 19 times.
He's obviously the best in the world, full stop. In history as well.
Let's be honest, he's had 2 meaningful fights. The Dylan White one is purely based on their history, and the Klitschko fight, which was, we can't knock it, it was a great fight. Didn't go the way I wanted, but it was a great fight. The greatest British heavyweight of all time. I
think I could rattle off about 5 names that would disagree, and 2 of them that would still probably give. Well, one would probably still give him a go.
Maybe that's Tyson Fury.
Who?
Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, yeah.
Dave,
okay,
this is a voice recording.
No one else hear that. Sorry, yeah.
You're gonna need to give some people something to work with here.
Give Lennox 12 weeks. I reckon he's still beat him.
Give him a go.
You see, you think that. Do you remember Lennox came back and tried to help Price in the build up to Tony Thompson?
Yeah.
Did he even help him?
I think he did, but I think maybe his methods are a bit dated now. Punch
him in the face.
Don't let him punch you in the face.
Stop using your face as a... stop.
So have anyone seen anything of Takam? Was it?
So I watched a couple of fights of him.
Only on YouTube. And
I watched the Parker fight.
Okay.
In fact, I was watching that when Sean came over today, just as we were setting up. And Sky have dug it out of the archives now that Takam's interesting again.
Called a highlight reel.
But that fight was dreadful.
Yeah.
It was an awful fight.
It was a crap fight.
Middle of the day on a Saturday as well. I was like, this is great. I love it. Oh no, it was about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning, I was like, this is great.
But this was Sky's build up of Parker, because Parker was on that the
IBF mandatory route.
Yeah, I'm gonna be Joshua's next time. And as soon as this fight aired and people watched it and thought, this is crap, he wasn't on Sky again.
Yeah.
He was gone, and he was no longer being mentioned with Joshua, and he was gonna go and fight someone else for another title because of this fight. That's how bad this fight was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, now you're putting him, the guy he beat, in with Joshua.
Well, who was it? Johnny Nelson. What did he likened it to? Who was it he likened it to? Someone stepping in at last minute against Lennox Lewis, and it was like,
Ruckman. Don't say Ruckman.
No, it was a really big name. And
I remember.
I can't remember who the person was, but I'm just sitting there thinking, no one cared about Takam 2 weeks ago. And the headline story on Sky Sports, tougher fight than Pulev, and it's like, it's not, is it? I'm not being disrespectful. I said it at the time. I had no interest in the original fight. I don't even think the Pulev fight was a challenge for Joshua. I think he's so far above everybody in that IBF ranking that it's irrelevant now. Sean, I think you said it on our Twitter, this was an opportunity to not so much get rid of the belt, but just listen, this is the point where I don't need that belt. This is the hindrance. We said it before. Kell Brook, that IBF belt can be devastating because it holds you into these rubbish fights with some really, not doing disrespect, for some really poor people that you are very far. Kell Brook, Joe Jordan, Bizier, and these are fights that have been mandated. Right, this is the guy you have to fight because you're the champion. He's your mandatory. This is your best challenger.
You look back now and you think, right, so Eddie Hearn's justifying this event because of the IBF belt. He doesn't want to lose it, and we've gone through this already with those fights for Kell Brook. Yeah, but Kell Brook got fed to Golovkin, and then that's it.
I can only say Matchroom fans because I genuinely feel like that's the world we live in now. But they forget that. They forget that. The high point of their year was watching Kell Brook fight Golovkin, a fight he shouldn't have been in. but he put himself in that position because he couldn't do anything else because of that belt. And Joshua is exactly the same now. It was an opportunity to make some great fights, but he had to take an IBF challenger. And you look down the top 5, and it's just people that he's just gonna.
Well, that's what I tweeted. You see that list of fighters who've had the IBF and vacated it.
Yeah.
And it's like literally every great fighter of the last 30 years.
They've all done it.
Yeah, they've had the belt, and it's not as soon as they've got it, but every great fighter in the last 20 years you can think of has had it and vacated it. Yeah.
So have your fight, have your 2 or 3 defenses, so you can just keep it or whatever it is. Put it on the wall. That's mine. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then just. Obviously, it's easy for us to say because we're not in the sport, we're not fans. I suppose that'd be like giving up a winner's medal or something. But it is a hindrance. From the outside, it really looks like a massive hindrance to a boxer now. It just stunts your growth. Where could Joshua be now if he wasn't having to fight these mandatories or align himself to these sort of fights with these guys?
Yeah, he'd be knocking on Wilder's door as the mandatory. You know you would.
Well, that should be happening anyway because unification overrides a mandatory regardless. So if that comes up,
what's the other belt Joshua's got? WBC Super.
WBA Super.
WBA
Super. Yeah.
So does that even have a ranking system?
Yeah.
As a super belt. As a super belt.
It's going to be Ortiz.
It's just all belts though. There's no
it's going to be Ortiz, but
so once you have that one, you can just be top fella for
his next mandatory after this one was going to be Ortiz.
Which it still
Ortiz
could be.
Fought,
but it still could be.
But then he agreed to fight Wilder, and then obviously the whole
debacle.
That's the word.
That is the word.
What? Does anyone know what he failed?
I did. So what happened? So his story is that he took a blood pressure tablet, and it was prescribed, but I can't remember. Obviously, I'm not going to pretend to know what the name it is. They didn't disclose, but But basically, he failed the test because it shows up as it had a blocker, and they said that blocker's in the blood pressure tablets. So they don't know what. They're not saying he's taken a particular drug to do anything, but the substance that's a blocker has shown up in the system. That what you would use to cover up something else. And this is one of the things it leads us on nicely actually with Marcus. I mean, obviously, professional footballer, professional athlete, you have to go through the same sort of hoops as I would hope not as many drug tests and stuff like that. But you have to do that sort of stuff as well. How difficult is it to just to absolutely be on top of everything that you're consuming and even medication, things like that? How difficult is it to stay on top of that all the time and just know absolutely everything you have in your body is completely not even legal, just it abides by the strict rules that you have to work within?
I think personally it's quite easy, and it always frustrates me with professional sports stars that do get caught foul of the doping system. It's really simple. If you've got any doubts about anything in football, I'm pretty sure it'd be the same in boxing. You could go on a website, you just type in the name of the drug, and it will tell you if you can take it or not. Any supplements you've got to make sure are certified as such. So you just don't go and buy something from your local backroom drugstore. You just get certified products. If you've got a problem, then you go to you need medication, you go to someone that you really trust, and you ask a question. In my case, it would be the physio. The physio would tell me, can I take it, yes or no? And it's as simple as that. Now, I can understand some people are poorly advised, but I just remember from my own personal experience going away with Jamaica one time for international. And
against Honduras, was it?
Against Honduras, yeah, that's against Honduras.
I've done my research.
Exactly, he's done his research. Well done, Michael. No, we're not. We lost. So anyway, I got off the plane and I've got to train the next day. And it's obviously a long flight, 13-14 hour flight, and the physio and the team doctor's just got a table full of pills and he's telling me take this, take that. And obviously I've never met this guy before. Yeah. I don't trust him, so I don't take it. It's as simple as that. Find someone you trust and then listen to their advice, but generally just don't put anything into your body.
So on that subject, you're educated because your British football is quite well informed, and obviously especially international teams, say South American teams, Central American teams, Asian teams, players come from all over.
Yeah.
So do you think there would have been players in your team that would have gone along and thought, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He probably knows more than my club physio or whatever.
Yeah, they did, and some of them, especially the sort of local players that obviously that played just locally in Jamaica, probably not as worldly as the boys that have travelled a bit, etc. They're taking it, you know, and it's like they could fall foul, and then they've got. And at the end of the day, it's only themselves. They're going to try and blame the guy, but the doping authorities don't take that as an excuse. So, you know, it is about trust, but it's your career, so effectively don't trust anybody.
Yeah. It makes it sounds really simple when you say it, but that's exactly what it is, though. It
is, yeah. So listen, Ortiz, I don't got no time for anyone that drug teach, to be honest, especially in the sport of boxing where you're doing damage to people. Effectively,
that's the intention.
Intention. Do you know what I mean? So it's not on.
So from what you're saying, it's either if they're doing it intentionally, then it's not on. But if they're not, then they're kind of stupidity.
It's stupidity, yeah. And anything in life, there's consequences for stupidity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's most things. I mean, what is it they say in like the tax laws and stuff like that? It's like ignorance isn't an excuse. Like not knowing something is not a valid reason for not doing something. You need to make it your business, and when it is your job and your life, and the amount of money that's on the line for you, you know what I mean, that's affected Ortiz's bank account, bottom line, you know? That's it. And we said it before, when you're at his level, there's people around you that they've been in the game long enough, they know what you can do and what you can't do. I mean, who's he signed to at the minute? Ortiz, he's what promotional company is he with? I'm trying to think. I can't even think who he's working for now, but these guys have been in the game for a long time. They've been putting on shows 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
They know. Medical team looking after certain, especially the big profile boxers.
This is what I mean. I can maybe understand.
Is that true though? I don't know if that's true.
They've got to, especially if there's like, if I'm looking after my assets as a promoter. I've got my own medical team, making sure that these guys ain't doing, like you said, even if they're punch drunk, they know what they're not supposed to have. So I'd have me look after my assets. I'm having my own medical team. You get anything you have, anything you want, you go through these boys. They know what you're supposed to have.
I don't think that. I mean, Joshua's probably an exception because he's kind of not really got. He's not part of a stable of fighters. It's actually sort of like he's just on his own. But you look at say Ingle's gym and stuff like that. So do you reckon? So who looks after Kelbrook and Billy Joe Saunders?
I think the Ingles. I think like you say, like you have your in-club physio that will look after you guys and however many age groups you guys have to deal with. I think the Ingles would look after all of their boxers, and I'm pretty sure they'd have the same, like their own physios in the Ingle gym. That you'd either send all your especially the good guy, like the standout names. I'd expect them to be sending them to the same fella. I wouldn't just leave it to his local GP or his geezer off the street or him. You know what I mean? I'd expect them as a team and as professionals to have one guy they go to, one physio. You know, that's how I would expect most good boxing gyms to do to work.
Touching on kind of what you said, obviously when you're travelling around with the national team and whatnot. So when we spoke to Ian before, Ian Lewison, he was actually giving us an example of when he was in China, and he was telling me that in China the like their livestock, things like chickens and stuff like that, they get fed a particular type of grain over there. And I can't remember what he gave me a really long 10-15 syllable word of what it is that's in this grain. And obviously when you then eat that chicken, it has the, I suppose it would be the chemicals that then get into your bloodstream and can cause you to fail drugs tests. And it's the sort of thing that obviously every country does. They treat their meats and stuff like that different ways. So he said it was something that when he was in China he was very conscious of, but obviously he had the people around him to make sure you've been warned about that sort of stuff. So when you've been travelling around, even just on your holidays and stuff like that, is that something you're necessarily having to worry about?
No, I'll be honest, I've never been that deep in the sense of, I guess how much of that chicken must he have to eat to...
Well, I don't know, he's 19 stone 1.
He's eating a lot of chicken to be fair to. Yeah, but no, listen, I've never been that deep. What I eat healthily, but what the chicken or whatever it is eating, I'm not too too fussed about. But yeah, as I said, even with the Ortiz thing, he could have rang up the governing body the next day, whether he get one at night, ring him up at 9 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me, can I take this? It's so simple.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Anyway, you'd have a team of people that can make that call.
Yeah.
This is do you remember the Tyson Fury thing in the changing room after the fight, after Klitschko, and he was refusing their water.
To drink, yeah,
he was bringing his own water over because he knew, like, not
even
just
before the fight,
accidental
wasn't
stuff.
he?
It's like,
I'm not having it at all.
Yeah.
I doubt that happens in football, but he was worried about the opposition
team then trying to spark it. Yeah.
I mean,
you see that.
Look what happened to Lucas Brown 2 or 3 times accidentally.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gave me
spiked.
water that was spiked.
Yeah. Right, so I mean, the card this weekend has massively changed, and I spoke to Sean about this earlier on. So I've got a few pennies left in my Sky Bet account. I wish I didn't have a Sky Bet account. I wish it was someone else now. But
Freedom pockets.
I took the 4 fights from the card. So it was the Joshua fight, Katie Taylor. I can't remember the other guy's name. It was Yafai something.
Camel.
That's Calify, isn't it?
No, it's not Yafai on the card. But basically, I took all 4 fights, and I went for all the Matchroom fights.
Defending his world title, aren't you?
Oh yes, I take it
Against
back.
that Yoshida, yeah.
You're spot
Because
on
that's
there.
the only good fight left on it, I think.
And I bet on all the Matchroom fighters, right, to win by knockout. I said I bet I didn't actually finish this bet because it wasn't worth it, and I put a tenner on it, and it would have got me back £4 profit.
Wow.
On 4 fights. And I said to Sean, and then I even added 2 extra bets on Matchroom guys, like, you know, to win definite by just to win, and to win in like 8 rounds. So I had 6 bets on the Matchroom guys, and it went up to £15. I was like, any other sport, this would just be ridiculous that you could have like a
definitive answer on how this is going to end.
Imagine if you nailed
that's crazy. 5
football matches, you're like, bam, winners, this is the exact, like, basically this is the
Yeah.
exact result, and you had 5, like, you're quitting. I'm not coming to work this week, boss, I'm going on holiday. And we're all living in this world now where these Matchroom cards, they're so built up, but then we're just like, we'll sit down and pay 20 quid to watch this, and I already know the outcome to all these fights.
So what stage do you think that this all wears out?
I think we're not getting too far from it now.
Yeah, I do as well.
You can see that there's so many tickets available for sale, like 30 quid tickets, like blocks of 13 seats in a row.
Yeah.
It was pointed out to me today that on StubHub you can get some tickets now for less than face value as well.
Seriously.
But then you
I don't necessarily think that's a bad...
Mate, and you got to try and pay for a hotel. Have you seen the prices?
Because as soon as that was announced, bam, up they went.
The venue's too big for that fight.
No, it was too
and
big.
there's not really a problem.
Pulev.
Yeah.
And that undercard, original undercard. It's now
Yeah.
Cardiff Stadium, not Cardiff. Cardiff City Stadium. It wouldn't even fill that out.
No.
What do you make to Hellenius White on that card?
I don't mind. I think that'd be alright.
It's alright.
It's just a Saturday.
I don't think White you'd imagine is going to win, but I don't think it's
not
going to
look good doing it, is it?
I don't think he's going to get any credit for it.
No.
Like Chisora lost, but beat him 5 years ago probably.
Yeah.
So
I just think this whole card, like, if this was just a Saturday fight night card, and it wasn't pay-per-view, I'd be alright with this.
I still don't think I'd be too happy.
I don't think I'd be watching it because I'm definitely not watching it. I'm out of you, David. I've made a conscious decision. I am not watching this. Dwight messaged me and he was like, "We're watching the fight at the weekend," and I was like, "I'm not watching the fight at the weekend." No, I said I'm not watching it.
I'll happily read it the next day.
Do not. I said it on the last pod. I said I'll just sit on YouTube and I'll watch the entire Joshua versus Molina card again.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly the same night.
It looks like that might be better now.
I know. It's just getting worse. Every pay-per-view we go to, it's just getting worse.
No, we keep talking about pay-per-views. Are we getting value for money? This is probably the worst one. Well, no, full stop. This is the worst one anyone's ever have had to have paid for. And we can say like it's all going to die out, but what they'll do is they'll get a good fight beginning of next year now, and we'll be talking about this is worth it. And then they'll string it out for 3 more pay-per-views.
It resets the level again.
So you get to the certain one where you go, this is crap again. One big fight, and then it'll be like filtered out for the next. Until Joshua loses, he's the only one that's going to be pay-per-view.
Sean's been nailing this point for a while though, that next year there is going to be so much pay-per-view because you've already got BTR and Box Nation are kind of earmarked 3 or 4 pay-per-view shows.
The World Series, I can't even say it. WBSS.
World Boxing Super Series.
There you go. That's going to have at least 3 or 4.
Well, they've already got Groves and Eubank's going to be definitely one.
Then the final.
I imagine whoever's in the final, it'll be one because it'll be one of those two, so that sells straight away. And then Sky are guaranteed to have 3, maybe 4. You're going to have 3 Joshua pay-per-views without fail.
With the cruiserweights and WBS?
I don't think they'll make a pay-per-view.
Not over here?
I just don't think it.
No.
I don't think there's been enough.
There's 5 of the 3 Joshuas. Then who?
A couple of BTs. One BT.
Two
you
BTs.
Can have a Canelo Golovkin rematch.
Yeah.
Who's getting that? Box Nation?
You would hope so.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking...
We're already looking at, you would probably say, 1 pay-per-view per month. Kell Brook's going to be back next year. He's not going to come back and not be pay-per-view because it's going to be a decent fight. He's going to come back, he's going to headline a card somewhere.
It will.
Chris Eubank Jr., I'm doing inverted commas, he is a pay-per-view fighter now.
Yeah, he is.
We could get Hay Bellew free. Suddenly we're in the realms of...
Well, if Hay wins,
Trilogy.
his next fight will be something me and Joe Parker or something like that.
Yeah, for a title.
Yeah, so that will be another pay-per-view. Oh, will it? Will be on Dave, no?
No, he's not signed to Dave.
Oh, just his...
When I interviewed it, that was one question I had to ask, and I was like, are you part of this Dave deal? He's like, no, I'm nothing. This is his promotional arm. He's not going to fight on Dave.
He's like, no, I'm going to make money.
Yeah. We're just testing the water with this.
Yeah.
No. But
but Matchroom have kind of, because they've had like the Kell Brook thing pay-per-view, they had the Frampton Quigg one, and at the time we were saying there's just too many pay-per-view fighters, whereas there's nothing wrong with the next Anthony Joshua card putting Kell Brook on the undercard. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's never going to happen now.
It won't happen now. You're right,
because they'll both want too much money.
Yeah.
And I can see why.
But the gap between them and then the next gen guys is just too big. There's nothing in between.
There's too many A-sides now, and everyone thinks that they are the guy. But this is my card. I need the money.
Now he doesn't look like he can put De Gea or Selby.
We haven't even touched on that.
Can I just say? I'm just saying he won't get them back.
No, they're gone now.
Yeah,
Can I just say this is the biggest FU ever from James DeGale to Matchroom right now.
Oh yeah.
To be fighting on Box Nation 2 weeks before a massive Matchroom card. And Lee Selby as well.
But Frank Warren's in a good position now because he's got Selby, Frampton and Warrington.
Yeah.
Well, Selby and Warrington has to happen now because he's mandatory. Warrington's mandatory for Selby.
You know Frank Warren loves all this sort of
and
round
then you know it'll be
stuff,
the winner takes on Frampton because Frampton's is his next fight for a world title or is it mandatory?
No, it's reborn or something.
It's just a fight.
It's just
a fight. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was going to be like
obviously
a mandatory.
there's a lot of talk about them possibly being the weight for the next Super Series.
Really
if Warren has all those fighters signed up,
that was good.
Next year is going to be very, very good for BT.
Yeah,
that would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I'd like to see, like you said, we said like they should pick 2 every year. What other weight would you pick if you could, knowing that they're all free?
So I would go. Personally,
sorry to interrupt. Is that De Gale thing? Selby, that's the same night as the Brigando Lomachenko fight as well, isn't it? Oh man,
right, that's
you
playing
that day?
So that's a great night, and obviously that's why they've done that. It's brilliant. So people can be at home, they can watch that fight.
Yeah.
Or if you're out, you can watch that fight. You can make it home, and then you can go straight into the Lomachenko Brigando fight. And I love it when Box Nation do that quite a lot, where they have they have like 2 cards, don't they? And it works really well. So that's a big night of boxing. I know you're going to be checking the fixtures now and see where you
are. I'm thinking we ain't got game Sunday, so I'm good. Late night Saturday, yeah.
I mean, it's just massive that those 2 are going to be on a Box Nation show. And again, it just brings us back to what we said countless times now. When Joshua is out of that Matchroom stable or the Matchroom promotional side, what is left? What is Matchroom going to be built on?
Well, I think that's why they need to make the most of these nights, like Saturday night, while they can, because they're not going to cancel that event when there's there might be 60,000 people there still.
It's still more than
60,000 people.
And like you say, the next gen boys have still got a year or so before any of them are.
I don't know. Coley's, he's really troubling all the people in the division now. Apparently,
Like I said, another year.
But in reality, though, where do you see them in a year? I think probably still doing the same thing now.
You see, Jose Burton apparently offered to step in, didn't he?
Yeah, and they turned him down.
They turned him down.
For who?
Buglioni turned him down.
Shock, because he got battered last time.
This is kind of, because we're obviously big Yard fans. Just fight Yard now. Just get it done. Just get it over with, and then we can move on from this. Because I still just think he just beats him. I think Yard beats him.
Yeah,
Well.
and we want to see him, like Yard now. We want to see in these fights, like domestic scene, clear it out.
It's kind of played into his hands, though, isn't it?
It's a bit.
This
It's
one
out of a
situation
touch for
that
him. Yeah.
Callum Johnson's pulled out, and they put him in with Richards, turned down Burton. Because at the time, I thought Yard looked like a bit of an idiot. You could argue it, do you know what I mean?
Well, because they had the press conference about him not having a fight, which I've never seen done before.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he's fighting. It's no disrespect to Richards, but how has he found himself in that situation?
Because he's a matchroom guy, isn't he? So
just off he goes on.
It's like the whole Kelbrook and Golovkin thing.
Yeah.
How can
There's
the
an
fighter just
opportunity.
say, give me another 2 weeks, or...
Yeah.
And then the promoter just decides, actually, no, we'll just let someone else take your place.
Yeah. Here's your costs, pay your trainer.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's awful. And like I said earlier on, if this was a Warren thing, he'd be getting battered for this now. Absolutely battered.
I'm telling you, it's only because they're Sky that it's getting passed over.
Gone. I think we're past the stage now where before all the fighters that I'm interested in were with Matchroom. They're not now.
Well,
BT and Box Nation have got fighters that I've watched, that I sent to you before. I would watch an undercard on Box Nation now for the likes of Dubois or Yard.
Yeah.
Whereas Matchroom, for me, I'm not that interested in next gen guys.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Exactly. Like, Anthony Fowlers and stuff like that.
Could be good, yeah.
They could be good, but even again, I'm not that impressed with him. And this is a guy. He's got a long, illustrious amateur career. He should be. You said it before when we first spoke about him. After his career, one fight in, he's already in the top 15, 20. I don't need to see him beating up cab drivers every week.
No.
Absolutely battering them as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't need any more experience. This guy's been a pro. Well, he's may as well have been a pro. He's been an amateur that's travelled the world, been in tournaments, been to everything you can imagine, every championship.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing him just bowl someone over in 2-3 rounds. It's annoying for me now. And this is what I was saying earlier on. Like before any Matchroom Card, now you get out your bookie app, because other bookmakers are available, not just Sky Bet. And you put your odds in, and you could bet £100 on 5 fights, and you're getting back 120 quid.
Yeah.
It's so laughable, and we're all so. I say all of us. I mean, just boxing fans in general. You're just so used to it now. It's not even a problem. Like Sean said, you got people that will lump £1,000 on Joshua to win, to get back 50 quid.
I know.
This is the world we live in, where we're gauging this as not even fair fight, but this is what people are expecting to happen now.
I mean, I can remember when we were talking about Kelbrook fighting Sheffield. I mentioned this to you earlier as well, that Joshua, I think, will end up fighting at the O2 just for like astronomical ticket prices. I think that it's easier to deal with 20,000 people and just charge a load of money.
And just say,
and you can see like when Mayweather fights to the MGM, do you know what I mean? With 17,000 people.
Yeah. If he's
making
charging 20 grand for a seat.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said to you,
don't want to be hiring stadiums and getting dropouts and not selling tickets.
And as I said, everybody who doesn't get a ticket then becomes a pay-per-view customer.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I know that for the big Matchroom fights,
because they pay stupid amounts.
Well, they're paying 100. I think it's the last one I saw was like the Mayweather McGregor was like $100 for a standard definition pay-per-view, and like $140 for the HD one.
That's insane.
That will never work over here.
Yeah, it won't work over here, no.
But that's why you've got to crack the American market, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Like for Joshua's point of view, if he sells,
you can see that happening if Wilder and Joshua actually do get it together. The pair of them will make shitloads of money.
Yeah.
The Americans will charge at $100.
Yeah.
Joshua's going to be laughing because he's going to be making.
He'll get a percentage of the US.
He'll probably
money,
put it up to 25 over here.
But that's
People
it's
still
going
pay
to keep going up
25.
now, isn't it? It was because remember what was it? It used to be like $12.95,
12,
and then
yeah.
and then $14.95,
15 if
and then
you
it was
booked it on
Pacquiao Mayweather, and it was like, oh, this one's going to be £19.99, and then that's where it kind of stayed there.
And the Klitschko Joshua is one off £20, and it'll go back down to £15, and it hasn't happened.
And it's just every time we're going to get these kind of so-called super fights, it's just going to go up again.
Yeah.
But this is probably what happened in the US. Because they were the kings of pay-per-view, and it probably did start off at $10, $15 each, and it just keeps going up. Fighters want more money. Fair enough, there's the guys doing the work.
But the thing in America is there's not that many pay-per-views.
No.
Over here we've got them every month.
Yeah.
Whereas over there they've probably got them once every 3 months.
So they stack their shows.
Yeah.
It's not like it's...
And they're proper, they are big
like
fights.
you saw
that one the other night, the
Charlo,
Unreal card.
mate, 3
The 154s, was it?
welterweight titles on
154.
in one night.
Mm.
I was just, when I was reading that, I thought it was like they just copy and pasted the wrong, the wrong thing.
They've just taken the rankings, just put them down.
Right, and then obviously, watching a few of them, I was just like,
Charlos are pretty scary, aren't they? They're nuts. Like.
I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I would love to get them over here. And this is I think this is why Kell Brook was like, do you know what? I stay at 147.
Hasn't one gone up?
Yeah, one's gone up to middleweight.
To middleweight, yeah.
Yeah, Brooks
I
definitely.
couldn't tell which
147's
one,
where I
they're
need to
both,
be at.
well, they're twins, but they're both tattooed up.
One, their name is Jamel and Jamal.
Yeah.
Yet. So I'm not going to pretend I know which one was fighting the other day.
Yeah.
But the knockout was what's the guy's name? I know Sean will know this. The one that they've been building up for ages.
Lubin.
Yeah,
Lubin.
Lubin,
I want to say Lubin for some reason, but it is Lubin.
Yeah.
What's his first bit?
Look, you're calling out things and making us like we don't know anything else. Listen, we just need to get through this bit.
Shh.
We got the name. You didn't need to expose us that we didn't know that bit as well. David.
Lubin.
That was a sickening knockout.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones, it was like as much as I hate to say it, Adonis Stevenson, he hit him and he knew, that's it, this guy's done. He just kind of ran away and just like, you ain't getting up.
Celebrating. Yeah.
That's what made me laugh about the MVP one though.
Just leaned
because he sort of leaned over and the guy was getting up behind him. It's like, what would have happened if that guy just carried on? He'd have looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
The ref nearly rugby tackled him off the thing as well.
Did you see that when the ref grabbed his shorts? He nearly took them off him.
It's because, I can see why, because you're supposed to go to
a neutral corner.
But he was just like, he's out.
I mean, he did know, didn't he?
Yeah. That was a sweet punch.
Yeah, I think it's probably like when you're balling, when you hit the ball sometimes.
It's sweet, you just know it's going to...
it's going top corner.
Yeah,
I've hit that one. I imagine boxers the same. You hit someone, you're like, getting up. I know he's not getting up.
Yeah.
So what else have we got anyway, boys? So I don't want to give too much time to that card at the weekend because I'll be honest, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's not even a good non-pay-per-view card.
This is what that is. You just reminded me what I was going to say. I was speaking to a few of the boys at football, and I was saying to them like they were saying to me, "Are you buying the Joshua fight?" I said, "Nah, I'm out anyway, but I wouldn't if I was home." I was like, "Are you?" And they said, "Yeah, bought it." I was like, "Are you not annoyed that at the time there was only 2 fights that were Takam had just been called in. Are you not annoyed by who he's fighting now?" And 2 of them literally turned around and went, "Didn't know who Pulev was." So I don't really care who Takam is.
Yeah. But that's the world. That's the world we live in.
They're doing it with Joshua.
Do you know what it was? Well, she's gonna knock him out, isn't he? You can't argue this.
Funny thing is, you ask 3 guys and they've all bought it. That's like 60 quid between them. It's like, why don't you just sit and watch it together, boys?
Well, yeah. To be honest, they are in different parts, but I was just I couldn't, for me personally, ever do that. You only know one person, and all you know is going to happen is he's going to knock someone out.
And this is what I've said to you guys before. Like in football, you get that because you have your allegiance to your team. So if Liverpool or Arsenal are playing, it's like, I want to go watch this. It doesn't matter who Liverpool are playing. I want to go to this game.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting boxing fans that are like that with boxers now.
Yeah.
And I'll admit, I was almost like that when David Hay had his comeback fight, and he put the tickets on sale before he named his opponent. And it's only the fact that the tickets were £110 plus the O2's convenience charge that I was like, actually, it's not very convenient for me. I don't really want to. I don't want to spend £130. I don't even know who's fighting.
Yeah.
And it worked out quite well. And then it happened in the second fight as well. Tickets went on sale before an opponent was announced. And
we were at that stage.
With Joshua now.
See Joshua announced Joshua's fight, and then you don't have to worry about the undercard until near the time.
I think now I wouldn't be surprised if they do this because there's no backlash to that. Then they could say it could be like some lucky dip. Like, you'll find out the opponent the day of the fight.
How epic would that be?
That would be good though if they unveiled the opponent on the night.
Oh mate,
Just came up on the podium like a platform.
Who have you just bought to fight?
Yeah, I'd be like the wrestling. You see Klitschko coming running down the road,
still cheering.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, that'd be epic. But would you do it? Would you buy it without knowing? I know you nearly did, but that was only because
that was my fanboy sort of.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm not. I really like Andy Joshua, but
are there any boxes you could do that for? I know you do it for Canelo.
Yeah.
If you were in the US, Dave.
I wouldn't even do it for.
Your guy's retired, isn't he?
I hope so. Don't want to see him come back and lose.
Dave's the biggest Kell Brook fan.
Are you really? Yeah.
Oh,
He's got a poster in his room.
Behave. It's a picture. No, the wife won't let me hang it. But yeah, I wouldn't even do it for him. I'm not that much of an idiot to be roped into that. But yeah, I don't think anyone should. If you don't know how can you judge Warren, especially like you were going to do, pay 130 quid for him to fight Mark Demori out of Shoreditch High Street, had one fight.
And I told you, if the tickets had been 50 quid, I'd have been like, do you know what, I'd spend that going out. That's like after work, that's 2 rounds with some guys from work, that's money gone quickly. I hope my wife doesn't listen to this because I don't want her to know that. But David knows what it's like. You go out with some guys.
Dropping them in it.
I don't drink uptown. I'm local.
Sean knows what it's like.
I'm in the £2
We're all in this together now. We're all in this. But that's if it was 50 quid, I'd be like, do you know what, it's 50 quid. I'll get a night out. I'll go to some boxing.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter who he's fighting. We'd spend 40 quid going to Harrow Leisure Centre to watch boxing, which we have done. But when it's like over 100 quid, and it was not long after I was like, I've only just spent that to watch a Joshua fight.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this to watch Hayes come back.
What seats were they?
They were floor seats, so it was the equivalent to what we had for the Joshua White fight. They were on the floor. They probably weren't too far from the front. But I was like, I don't know who he's fighting. I don't know who he's fighting, and on top of that, I don't know how good he's going to be when he comes back.
Yeah,
this could have been like the Ricky Hatton comeback, where I was like,
don't want it to ruin it for you.
And like I said, it was only the price that made me think, actually, I'm probably not going to do this. It's a bit ridiculous. But I think we're definitely at the point now where Matchroom could say Joshua is fighting on this date, TBA, and make that the focal point is TBA. This will be announced. Special guest appearance.
I don't know who
it's going to be like the flyers you get for nightclubs, where it's like they haven't got the lineup finished yet. So it's like special guest appearance from to be confirmed.
I think the next one will be pretty good. I think it could be Miller.
But do you think that's going to be good, or do you think that's been built to be good now? Because
it won't be good. It won't be actually good, but it will be in America probably. I'd say
that'll be his.
They've got to do one over there.
Second foot in. He's already had the broadcasting situation.
They've tested the water, haven't they?
If Big Baby Miller is building up a bit of a was it?
Don't know.
Head of steam.
Yeah. Then he finishes with Takam, and then that will be. I reckon you're right.
Have you seen that Showtime have done like a 15-minute video? I think it's on YouTube now, but I think they're going to show it on Friday.
I can't wait for that.
It's actually right.
Oh, alright.
From an American point of view, they sort of recap on Joshua's career. It's not bad, yeah.
I'll bet you I could go on YouTube and find a better recap of his career, and
it's
it'll be
narrated by that.
Oh, who's done it?
Steve Fode.
Alright then, maybe not then.
It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
You've only really got to watch his highlights of his knockouts, though. That's his career.
It's just interesting how they sort of describe the rivalry with White. They don't really give White too much credit. As sort of.
Well, maybe I like them now then, because I don't think White's that good.
When you finish watching it, you think, yeah, Joshua's actually done quite good. Like from their point of view, they haven't been fed all the stuff we've been fed from Matchroom over here.
Yeah,
they've just seen
looking at outside perspective.
He had a bit of a grudge match with White. He had that sort of passing of the torch thing with Klitschko, and was knocked down and got back up and won. And then when you look at just the facts, he's done really well.
Oh,
he has
is
done.
he
really
making
well.
a fan of you?
I like Joshua, but I just don't like the whole Joshua thing.
This is what we always say. Though.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I think all boxing fans are like big Joshua fans, but I just hate the shit around him.
So I'm saying as soon as he leaves Matchroom, everyone loves him.
Yeah.
Look, Chris Eubank, I'm not having it anymore.
No.
Listen, Senior's taken a massive step back. You must all acknowledge that now.
But do you think he's been told to?
I don't think it matters.
Well, but I was 100% exactly the same. I like Chris Eubank Jr. as a fighter. It was just the whole circus around him.
But now the circus is gone.
No time for it.
Whether it's temporarily or what, it's not there now.
See, for me, I love the circus.
That's what I
get.
Always said that.
Yeah. That particular double act I thought was brilliant.
It was the Olympia show.
That's annoying to watch, but
you liked it being annoyed.
Yeah.
So I hate being annoyed.
When we went to the Olympia show and Simply the Best came on and Senior came out first and I was like, this is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Brilliant.
This is awesome.
Shorts on his, what is it? No, it's not a satchel, is it? It's just like a briefcase. It's a laptop.
Oh, he's got that clutch bag.
We lost that a little while ago. He was saying on Twitter that he lost it and he wanted someone to give it back to him. It was like a 50 quid reward. Yeah. And then because people don't like it, someone said, I'll give you £100 to keep it. Whoever's got it. On another Senior note, have you seen he's been walking around with a police badge recently? He's got it.
He's been wearing
he wears like an NYPD badge.
Does he?
on his blazer.
Brilliant, isn't it?
How can you hate him, Dave? How can you hate him?
I don't hate him. I just don't get why he's being talked about when it's his son's career now. He's had his career. He's done. Look, he's one of the best.
I think Dave's a bit bitter. Right?
It does work.
No, it's not.
I don't
watch Is it because he hasn't got any chocolate brownies? Like, bro, you're upset.
I think Joe Brooks had too many. The last picture I see of him, but
because it's the whole father-son thing. He gets on. Like I see that he was on Loose Women.
Yeah.
He gets on all them daytime ITV shows. He gets on that mainstream programs. If it was just Chris Eubank, I don't think he would. Or Chris Eubank Jr. It's the whole package that gets people the normal.
Me personally, probably for like a lot of people, they want to see the whole sort of bravado and everything of it. But for me, I just want to see what Chris Eubank Jr. is like without his dad.
I think now that you're seeing that,
he seems pretty cool.
I think
he's cool.
He
seems like a cool guy.
I think
he's down to us, and I've said to you guys before, like we said about Adam Booth, he doesn't mince his words. He says exactly what he wants to say. He says it well, and he doesn't make mistakes in what he says. So if you ask him a question, he doesn't do the big pause like Senior where you get like 30 seconds of silence. He'll answer you straight away, but there's no bullshit.
I liked it when him and Groves were in the ring, and I think Groves said something like, he said, you've got momentum, I've got form, you're confident because you've got momentum. And Eubank Jr. kind of looked at him and just sort of like nodded his head and smiled. It's kind of like, that sounds like something I would have said.
No one remembers that one, so I'm going to use that one.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I don't think he's not going to trash talk.
No.
He sort of says everything he says is believes and he'll stand by it.
I think because they've got a previous with sparring and they know each other, not very well, but I don't think this needs to be sold as a grudge match or anything, or like there doesn't need to be any venom because they are two very good fighters. That's enough. You know, you don't need to add.
Well, see, they don't need any added spice to this. It's not like with the Bros on where they had to try and at the time they were kind of trying to justify it. I think like this is a massive fight. It's pay per view. People were looking at Groves like, is Groves ready for Frotch? Is he there? But this one, they're both there. They're both at the top of their games at the minute. They don't need to add anything to this. It's there,
and it's for 2 titles.
Yeah.
Winner takes 2.
Did you just admit that the IBO was a
world title? We've already talked about it. It's not the best one. We know.
Is it better than the IBF?
No.
Because Kilbrook had one of them.
Yeah, and he let that one go.
Not by choice, mate.
But yeah, that's the other reason. There's 2 world titles up for grabs.
I'm looking forward to covering that fight next year. Right, boys, we are hitting the 1.5 hour mark. Right. So we're over the commute sort of time now. We try and aim for an hour so we can get people on the train. Yeah. On the way to work, etc.
So we get them on the way home as well.
So now we're taking up your day. We are taking up your day now. Marcus, I told you I was going to do it. So you yourself host a podcast that people can get on iTunes, etc.
Yeah.
2 pros in a pod.
That's it. 2 pros in a pod. It's myself and Hogan Ephraim, player I used to play with at Wycombe, ex-QPR player, and Kate Hayemaker, who's like the producer. We just talk about all things football, really. All throughout the leagues, Premiership down to League 1 and 2, all the major talking points, and yeah, we just give our kind of view on it as such.
What do you make of Pep's comments about the football being too light last night? Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm not having that. I don't know. He's taking a leaf out of Mourinho's, but that's like it's not the way to go, really. But yeah, balls are balls, aren't they? Listen, I think he's a bit.
Unless it's those ones there in South Africa a few years ago.
Jubilee. They were 2 round, weren't they?
2 round. So that was a bit of a poor from Pep, because he's one of my idols, so I expect better from him.
And so when can people pick that show up?
It's normally out on a Thursday. Tomorrow's going to be on a Friday, so it's Thursday or Friday weekly on all major outlets.
Nice.
Awesome.
We should just start saying all major outlets now.
Yeah.
Because we've got it loads of places. I don't know.
iTunes,
SoundCloud.
All the
What's that one you gave us?
Castbox.
Castbox.
Yeah. Castbox, no,
We put it on YouTube as well now.
Yeah.
I was on YouTube as well. Oh, wicked.
Yeah, it's not got a video. We just put a picture. And you can still hear us.
Ramble.
Yeah, we talk a lot of rubbish.
Yeah.
That's why we try to get it down to the hour mark now, because we know that we talk a lot of nonsense. So we try and be a bit more concise.
No, mate, I've enjoyed it, mate. It's been good.
But we're definitely hoping to get you back.
Yeah, I'd love to, mate. Yeah.
And we'll wait for another big boxing event. I'm not classing this weekend.
No, I can't.
When is the next? Is there anything in November?
Billy Joe.
We didn't even talk about that.
I'm just going to say, I said it at the time, that fight ain't going to happen. I'm still saying, something's going to happen, that fight doesn't go ahead.
Why's that?
I've just never. I said it about Tyson Fury as well, and I was spot on. I just feel that it's not going to happen, and I'll happily be wrong because I can't wait to see that fight.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
I think Lemieux wins.
I think Lemieux wins as well.
I was going to say I thought Billy Joe was easy.
But I think Joe's too good.
Yeah.
Boxing wise, I don't think he's going to knock him or hurt him, but I just think he's going to
boxing.
Yeah.
That's
good though. That'll be a good one next time.
When is that? That's
December.
Isn't it the week before the Hey Bellew?
Can't be on the same weekend as the.
When is that? That can't be the same.
Right, so someone's going to have to check it. Well, it's not going to be the same though, because it's not going to be on a Sunday.
Oh, yeah, true. No, the Windsor Rigo.
That's the 9th. But then the Frankmore and De Gea cards that night as well.
Then I'm going to say it's the following week. Sean's going to check now.
16th, it is the day before, the Hay thing, isn't it?
It is.
So that's a
good weekend.
Another good weekend.
So if anything, if we don't get you back before then, we'll definitely get you in for that. There'll be a lot of boxing to talk about then. And you'll get to meet our anonymous.
You love a prediction, do you? Okay.
Yeah, you'll get to meet our anonymous member Dwight as well.
Oh, there's another member of the team.
He's been AWOL.
Been flaky.
Where is he at the moment, Dave?
We just make up saying. What was it last time?
He was kidnapped last time.
He got kidnapped and he was in a boot in some car in Cambodia. So where is he this week? He's
under his missus' thumb.
We've all been there.
The voice of wisdom there. We've all been there.
Sorry, Dwight.
Alright then, boys. Well, we'll wrap up then, and we'll be back next week, and we'll be definitely talking about this Saturday's card.
Yeah.
And looking forward to what's to come, because there's still a lot of boxing to be had this year.
Yeah, some great boxing.
Alright then, boys. Well, thanks very much for your time. Thank you very much, Marcus Breen, for joining us, and don't forget to go and check out his pod, 2 Pros in a Pod, at all major outlets. And we'll be back next week, guys. Right, bye.
My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat your children.
Let's get ready to rumble. But it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.